Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Path of Exile. My name is Wilfred and let me wish you all a Merry Christmas because it is just around the corner. I hope you guys have a good celebration, good break with your family and just have fun, alright? Now, last video I spent some time walking you through the crafting side of the game, which is more for the new player, but I guess veterans like my friend Yoshi is saying there's a little bit lack of action. So in this video, it is a compilation of all the Act 7 bosses, as well as the Abyss, as well as the Abyssal Death as well. So I hope with that it kind of make up for the lack of action in my last video. It is a very good one here. I kind of enjoyed this Act 7 a lot. Now, the boss fight, I would like to continue talking about the boss fight here because I really think that the design is very innovative as well as intuitive. I know some of you may find that the boss fight a little bit confusing. As a first time, like I'm doing it the first time, and I also find that it could be a little bit confusing at first, but then you could by and large figure out what happened while you are tackling the boss. And so I found that the design so far until Act 7 still it is very, very good. I kind of enjoy it a lot. Okay, so this is the going into Maligaro's Saptum, and you could actually listen to all the dialogues which I have. They talk about how he always hide in various kind of places, and to really get to him is via one of the map, which is what I'm doing right now. And this would be the Abyss just before going to meet Maligaro, one of the bosses that that we have taken down during the Act 4 before the So this Maligaro, he does a few things. You can see that he does his claw, and then after that you have to dodge from it because he has his animation, and then he'll do it and summon a mini boss. You just have to take down quite fast, and then he does his things again and try to avoid his like a claw again, the purple one that he's spin. Yep, that's the one. So it is by and large still something you could learn while playing it. So I dodge again, but I think the next one I got hit maybe, can't quite remember. But it is, and then he's focusing on my golem, which is good. So yeah, so there's a bit of purple thing from the sky. Have to avoid, and basically just take him down brutal force. So yeah, it's rather straightforward boss fight. First time doing it, I was able to sort of like figure out what to do then. So this is more of the AB side of it, and just a little bit update on where I am from the build perspective, because I know some of you are quite interested to know how I navigate myself through Path of Exile, which is kind of confusing sometimes. It could be I know in my last video I used a unique claw. By the way, this Abyssal depth that I could actually climb down and take down the boss there, which has a time limit to it, so it's really fun. So again, it's a compilation there. So I have decided not to use the unique jewel that I purchased well, it has tons of intelligence, 24 of them, and also it convert all the dexterity note around the large radius into intelligence. The how it works in Path of Exile is that you need them may have a medium, like the wildfire crimson jewel, or it could have the large radius. And the so I looking back, is it a big deal? Well, it's not really, because I lost about 1% evasion chance, which is the dodge itself, versus the extra intelligence that I probably don't need, but it kind of give me a nice energy shield, which I probably also don't need. So I decided not to do it, and I've been shopping around. I didn't know that you can use AB's jewel for your passive tree as well, which I kind of learned it and said, oh, okay, but then I don't really have any AB's jewel that I could use to increase my int and relevant to my build. So I did some shopping in the PoE trade, but there are just so many of them, so many combinations, and I'm just not quite sure which one to get and so on. So I called up my friend Captain 44. He's kind enough to pause whatever he was doing, going through his stash, and say, hey, you need this jewel instead. It's a rare jewel, and it's just perfect because it gives me the in that I need, a little bit more than I need, and also it gives me things like the dual wheel kind of like damage. Now this is a timer, 1 minute 20 seconds. You have to down the boss or totem or whatever you call it, I can't really see it. And so long as you get it before 1 minute 20 seconds, and you'll get extra loot, I guess. So yep, that is done and done. So it's a lot of Modern Strike balls around the whole thing. You can see, very effective, very fun. Okay, so that is the jewel that I use, and now it's sorted my problem with the intelligence in a very gracious way. And then after that, I managed to work my way towards the Scion side, which took up the more of the life node as well as the Constitution. Because I don't think I have a problem with my DPS right now, but I'm a little bit more concerned about my health. You know, now this Groost, and the again, this is like an arena style, making sure that you avoid the arrow falling from the sky, which I kind of saw it on my screen, and try to take down all the little ads around it as well. So that is another arrow coming from the sky. And now that is the boss. You just go in and he hit rather strong, man. And you just have to just DPS him down, avoid the arrow as well. But that's about it, really. Nothing too hectic. Groost is one of the NPC in Act 3, which I do not necessarily miss because he always spit on my face whenever I talk to him or sell stuff, and you know, just not that pleasant. But I know some of you are quite attached to him as well. Well, too bad he became an avatar of a god of Walakish, whatever it is. Alright, so now, and to continue talking about the build itself, where would I be expanding my my passage tree from now onwards? I have two options. Either I should collect the Frenzy Charges, 3 of them, which will require 6 points, that is 6 level of whatever I have. Or I could also work towards the Ranger side of it, that get more like nullification, which is more elemental resist, plus a whole bunch of goodies, of course. Because I am anticipating after Act 10 that, you know, elemental resist is yet another thing that I need to worry about. So may as well deal with it now than later. So that's another option. Since DPS is not really my problem right now, I don't think so. Some of you have been alerting me that why not use Bloodseeker instead of Wild's Nest. Well, Wild's Nest is very nice for my build for a reason that I'll talk a little bit about it later. But it does give nice crit, nice attack speed that's really high. Accuracy is alright. I mean, you know, don't really probably not needing that much of it, but I mean the crit and the attack speed is what this unique claw really shine. So I don't really need I don't think I need the instant leech as of now. So it's just one of those things, and I don't think I'll go for the Bloodseeker. I may take a look at Touch of Anguish. I know, but then because mine is not a Frostblade build, and a lot of things like the cold damage buff, increase frenzy, even frenzy charges, I have no problem gaining it as a raider. So I think if I were a Pathfinder, maybe a Touch of Anguish is something that I would like to use, because that would give me a better way to generate the frenzy charges. Versus as a raider, I have no problem with frenzy charges really, because whatever I hit, I'll get a frenzy charges even as a elite without killing it. So there's another boss, the you know, the Groot Cole. Yeah, basically just avoid things on the ground, and it's a little bit hard to see. It's dark on the ground, but you know, it's not that hard, especially when your DPS is rather good. Okay, a lot of discussion has always also been on to the aura or the curse that I choose, because my current setup is a Blasphemy support, 35% of mana reserve, and to give me the Assassin's Mark as a curse. I'll talk a little bit about that in just a bit. Another one is Hatred, which is 50% mana reserve instead of 35%, but they give me it would deal extra cold damage by a certain percentage of my physical damage. I think if I am to use a level 20 dam, then I'll be looking at 36% of my physical damage added as cold, which could be decent as well, because I'm using a physical claw, and that can work out quite well with my build. So that is one option. Now the Assassin's Mark is attractive. I tell you why. By the way, this Vile City is very, very beautiful. I enjoy it. Like, you know, just admiring the whole thing here. Assassin's Mark as a curse is very attractive to me. I'll tell you why. The first thing first is the power charges, the blue power charges that you see. I constantly can get 3 points anyway. It helped me to increase, with every power charge, it increased my crit chance by 40%. So with 3 power charges, my crit chance is increased by 120%. That is more than double of my crit chance. And in addition, it gave me an extra 9% crit chance flat increase. So if I look at my radar right now, my crit is above 25%. Just say 25% to start with, or 26%. And another 9% is already like, you know, like 35% perhaps. Then double it up is more than 70%. So my radar crit rather nicely. And also it is vulnerable to crit as well. So as you crit, you deal extra damage to the mob that you know, that's being affected by this curse. So all in all, it's very nice, and the life as well as the mana gain after you kill off the mobs is also a nice addition to it. So I can just tank off a lot of these things because all the life is just gained back to me. Mana is not an issue as the mob drops. So it is very convenient as a leveling perspective. If I don't min and max everything, I think Assassin's Mark is still a viable option. However, I will definitely also level up a Hatred just to see what I could gain from it. I probably need to do a little bit of theory crafting. I understand that a lot of end-game people are picking Hatred instead of Assassin's Mark at end game. So I'm still leveling, so I don't know. Maybe when I get there, I'll run some numbers to see which one actually give me an advantage, because maybe my crit becomes so good that I don't really need the 3 power charges that you know, or maybe the flat damage from the cold damage from the Hatred is enough to offset the crit side of it. So yeah, I'll have to see, and very keen to see what is going to happen on that. And there's still a lot of discussion going on. I can't recover it in one video on what kind of hero do I use. By the way, this is the last boss. I usually put a portal these days just in case. The Arakaili, and Silk is the guy there. He's the gloom to the Widow. So Silk is an NPC, and it's true, he doesn't wear underwear. I saw it near the map device. I think some of you told me that in 2 weeks ago. I didn't quite like, are you sure? Anyhow, so this fight is kind of interesting because there are beams that you have to avoid, like, and then there are actually the spider you need to find, and just have to make sure that, I mean, it took me a while to get it because I was figuring out, like, am I supposed to kill off the beam or not? But I realized that it can't really be killed off, and I like it. It's intuitive, and you can actually see where you stand without getting beamed. And when the boss come back out, it's just like, you know, just put a totem there, put another totem. So Silk is being eaten by the Widow. So what's the lesson learned? Don't date a Widow. No, I mean, yeah, it's, you know, Widow is a spider. You know, they eat off their male companion after they, whatever. Yeah. So, okay. So that is the towards the end of it, and I'm just going to, like, you know, yeah. So it was a rather nice and pleasant fight. It wasn't anything scary like Innocence, because I think I wasn't that prepared for Innocence anyway. So thank you so much, very much for watching this series, and all your questions that you have in my YouTube, kind of generating a kind of debate and also investigation on my end. I got to learn the game a lot better with you guys, like, you know, spawning all this discussion, and I got to study a little bit more about what are the power charges mean, what, you know, what does the crit and crit damage means, what is the difference between increased, you know, crit chance versus the crit chance itself. So it's a lot of good stuff. This game, I love it, and I hope you're gonna enjoy your holiday as well with your families and friends. And yeah, once again, Merry Christmas. And by the way, Yenna, just there, I'm quite glad that she didn't, like, you know, die as well, because in this Act 5 and above, like, some of my favorite NPCs just disappeared from the game, like Nessa. So yeah, I'm happy. And she's actually a fiery fox. Can you believe it? But that is a story for another day. See you next time. Goodbye.